Hello, hello. My name is Melissa. Welcome to the video. Today I am very excited to be filming this video. I never, ever, ever thought that it would actually be a video that I would film. And as you can tell from the title, it's because I just conquered or got over one of my absolute biggest fears. And I wanted to talk about it. So before you leave, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all that crazy YouTube stuff, and then let's get into the video. So last week, I conquered one of my biggest fears, and I'm incredibly proud of myself. And because of how proud I am, I wanted to film a video about it. So here we go. Fears can be paralyzing, or in my case, as well as many others, fears can hold you back. And while I have many, many fears, one of my biggest was driving. Yes, driving. You know, the thing that every teenager is supposed to be obsessed with, the thing that's supposed to give you freedom, the thing that's supposed to help you, the thing that's supposed to make life easier. I remember being incredibly confused when my brother and sister were learning to drive, and they were both so excited and so in love with it. Because I would sit there thinking just how terrified I would be, knowing that as I was driving, everyone around me's life was honestly in my hands. Then it came time for me to learn how to drive, and I wasn't thrilled. In fact, I waited until the very last possible day to get my driving permit. I never went out and practiced until it was time to start driving in class. My best friend, Rose, knew that I was anxious. I don't think she quite understood exactly how I felt, as she absolutely loved driving. But without fail, every time of the day during school, when the period would hit where I was supposed to go meet my teacher to drive, she would walk me down, and she'd stay with me until he saw me. I never knew if it was just so that she could hang out for a little bit longer until she had to go to study hall, or if it's because she thought I would bolt if she wasn't there. But I probably would have been AWOL if it weren't for her. Now, when I drove, the only things I ever really remembered were pretty much my teacher telling me to back up and make my way out of the school parking lot, and then telling me to park in a parking spot to let my partner drive. And I thought that was normal. Looking back, that's incredibly insane that I actually thought that every person on the road doesn't remember driving at all. And I know now that I should have told somebody that I was having those problems, but I thought I was insane for being afraid to drive. So I kept it bottled up and didn't tell anyone. I also realized that was probably me just disassociating. And it's a scary thought to think that there are other people out there like me who are just afraid to tell people that they don't feel comfortable doing something that everyone else in the entire world feels comfortable doing. At least that's what it feels like. But then the time came and went for me to supposedly get my license, and all of my friends were getting their licenses and they were all incredibly happy, and I didn't even practice driving. I remember there were about 2 weeks when I was incredibly confused as to why my parents wouldn't let me get my license, because honestly, I just felt stupid not having a license. Obviously, I didn't feel comfortable getting my license, but I thought that's what I was supposed to do at 16, and I hated it. So I didn't get my license. I couldn't get my license. Every time I was driving in a car, I would be paralyzed. Then it got worse. No matter where I was in the car, I would be anxious and paralyzed and counting down the seconds until I could get out of the car. I don't think I ever even told people that, but I think most of my friends and family knew. And even now, I still have mostly my friends, but some of my family apologize for doing something too quickly in the car, like slamming on their brakes too hard or waiting to the last possible second to stop or something like that. And they'll apologize because they know how much that terrifies me. And I know it probably terrifies everyone, but they apologize to me, and maybe they apologize to everyone else too. Maybe it's not just a I know Melissa's afraid of driving, so I'm gonna try and make it better for her thing. But every time I was in a car, I would be incredibly anxious. And lucky for me, I had friends who understood anxiety and would understand if I told them that I was anxious in a car. And even my family kind of understood it by that point that I wasn't comfortable in a car. I don't think they knew that I wasn't comfortable anywhere in a car, but at least they knew I wasn't comfortable driving. But I knew I had to get my license, and even more important than that for the time being was that I needed to get more comfortable sitting in a car. So I would pretend to drive a car when I was in it. That might sound insane or like I'm 3 years old, but when I would sit in a car, no matter what seat I was in, I would be thinking, okay, now I would press the gas. Now I would be braking. Oh, I see flashing lights ahead. I should pull to the side. And I think that's what helped me the most. It sounds absolutely ridiculous, but it honestly made me feel a little safer in the car, knowing that if I'm going through this thought process, my friends and family probably are too. And that might sound ridiculous, but it got me over a hurdle that I was scared I was never going to get over. And after I felt a little more comfortable in a car, I actually started driving it again. Now, I wouldn't go far, I would just go to the store down the street or something. And as I was more and more comfortable with the distance, I would go a little bit farther each time. Now, I'm still a little anxious in the car, and I think I always will be, but I think I can handle it now. Also, I don't black out when I drive anymore, so that's, you know, good. And honestly, I can't believe I'm actually saying this, but I'm starting to actually enjoy driving. I know, if you're my friends and family right now, you are shocked that I'm saying this, but it's true. I think I'm starting to enjoy driving a little bit. Don't get me wrong, I'm never going to be obsessed with it, but take what you can get. So here's the deal for everyone watching. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but try to conquer one of your fears. Or at least try and make it so you're not as paralyzed by your fear. Getting over this fear has done wonders for me. Not only do I feel more confident in myself, but I actually feel like my head is a little clearer and I'm just a little happier knowing that I'm not being held back as much as I was. And also, getting over this fear made me feel like I actually deserve a little better in life, which may sound weird or that might make sense, I don't know. But it just made me feel like if I can do this, maybe the universe will reward me for getting over something as difficult and terrifying to me as driving was. And I'm hoping having a little bit of an inspirational story from me might help some of you get over your fears. I'm not saying you have to, and I'm not saying that your life is going to be worse if you don't, but I am saying it's pretty great to know that you can beat one of the things that hold you back the most. And if 15-year-old me could see me now, she would be shocked to know that I was starting to actually kind of enjoy driving, and she would know that it kind of gets a little better. And she would know that you could actually beat a fear and she would be in heaven. So, if you are not going to listen to me as I say, try and beat or try and make one of your biggest fears a little less big, listen to your younger self. And hopefully, you can get over a fear too, and you can feel a little better about yourself, just like I do. So, yeah, I beat one of my biggest fears, and I couldn't be happier. It's only 6 years after the fact that I actually got my license, but I worked hard and I feel like that shows something. And I'm hoping that my telling this story might just inspire you to try and beat one of your fears. It's terrifying to have a fear, it's terrifying to try and deal with a fear, and yes, it is terrifying to try and beat your fear, but hopefully, with a little bit more encouragement, you can do it too. I still have plenty of fears that I need to try and beat, but at least it's one less, right? So please let me know if you decided to try and conquer one of your fears because of this video. That would make me so incredibly happy. And I'm hoping that if you don't have any big fears that you feel like you need to conquer, maybe send this video to somebody that you know that might need it. I think my life would have been a lot better had I had some online encouragement from people when I was dealing with my fear in high school. So hopefully this helps you or someone you know deal with one of their biggest fears. Don't forget to go ahead and answer that little poll up there and tell me about your driving experiences, or answer it down in the comments below if you want to give me a little more details about your driving life. And I think that's it. So try your hardest to conquer a fear, because you might feel a little bit better about life. And hopefully I'll catch you in my next video.